Oh, here's your Backstage pass.
Rise, quiet on the set.
Action!
Welcome to Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by Chef Lisa Dahl. This is your inside look into culture, curators, and creative artists. And now, your host, Shondra.
Welcome, my VIPs. You've got your Backstage Pass and you are in. Get ready for some wonderful behind-the-scenes stories because I've got them for you. You know, you can always tune in every Saturday at 10 a.m. on mellowmountainradio.com, streaming. And you can listen on the radio at KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM every Saturday at 10 a.m. And later, if you've missed a show, go to Spotify. You can find us there now. Spotify, remember, Sedona's Backstage Pass. There's other places too, like Apple Podcasts and Pandora Radio now. It's very exciting. So, I have got a whole bunch of things to tell you about with the calendar of events this week. There is a lot going on, and it's throughout the week and also a little beyond because I want you to get ready to actually participate in these events that are coming up a little bit later. So first of all, the City of Sedona's Red Dirt Concert Series is coming back. And they've got one. They're going to be in September on Fridays from 5 to 8. Now, you would have just missed one, but you have the opportunity to go to another one that's coming up next Friday. So make sure that you do that. If you want to know more about the Red Dirt Concert Series, go to sedonaaz.gov. You're going to find out all the details there. Okay. Now, you know, I never really ever talk about Cottonwood, but I'm going to right now. There's some really cool things going on. There's a farmer market in the square at the Old Town Square in Cottonwood on Wednesday coming up, September 10th. Can't believe it's already September 10th coming up from 4 to 8 p.m. And here's something really bizarre and cool. In Cottonwood, right there at the Riverfront Park, there's a skate rink there. Can you believe it? And on Thursday, September 11th, from 6 to 10, you can go on down there and participate. It's really fun. It's a free skate. It's called the Community Free Skate at the Riverfront Park skate rink. I mean, like, who knew, right? And so every Tuesday and Thursday from 6 to 10 p.m., the rink is reserved for skate-related recreation. So go on down there and have a good time. Now, there are some other really fun things to take in here in Sedona. Like at the Sedona Arts Center, the Face of Time exhibit is still going through all the way through September 12th. You still have time to go check that out. It's a really great exhibit. And also on September 19th from 4 to 6 p.m., they have their Sedona Arts Center Celebrate Sedona event. And it's like lots of food and drinks and music and lots of art, of course. So enjoy that. Now, there are some other things that are coming up a little bit later, and I want to tell you about them so that you will you'll definitely get tickets for this, okay? You're going to hear about something else that's happening. I don't want to spoil that news, so you'll hear about that in a minute from one of my guests. But in the meantime, Winnie Munch, I have to announce this, very excited. Winnie Munch, the executive director of Sedona Ballet, is now the sponsor of this events calendar. Very excited about that. So a big shout out to Sedona Ballet. And she is part of the Sedona Sisters Cities Association, which is just the coolest thing ever. We are sister cities with Canmore, Canada. It's like, what? And there's something happening. It's free. You got to get your kids, take the whole family. This is a huge celebration on Wednesday, September 17th. With the Rising Stars concert at 7 p.m. at Sedona Performing Arts Center. What is it? This is amazing. You ready? It's a free concert. It features remarkably gifted young musicians from Canmore, Alberta, Ukraine, and Arizona, and they are all acclaimed international artists, and they're young. And we're talking about cellists. You have to go. You have to go. They've been brought together for a unique cross-cultural performance, and the concert is being supported by the generous grant from the City of Sedona and also the Sedona Sister Cities Association, and their mission is to foster peace through a mutual understanding, one exchange at a time. So you're going to be able to enjoy Bach, Brahms, Rachmaninoff, Gershwin, lots of music from other composers, and there's no registration. All you have to do is just go to the doors. They open at 6:30 p.m. at Sedona Arts. At the Performing Arts Center, Sedona Performing Arts Center, right? And just go to the door. 6:30 it opens. And if you want to get more details, visit SedonaSisterCities.org. Okay. I probably should just mention one more thing. I'm going to be actually monitoring. No, not monitoring. I'm going to be emceeing. I'm going to be the moderator. That's what I want to say, of the Artist Consortium, as they present for the very first time the Masters Musicians Symposium on Friday, September 19th at 6 p.m. at the Mary Fisher Theater. Skip Dom talked about that last week, so we're going to have many musicians, including Patrick Key and Michael Kolowitz and John Dumas, Logan Patosh, David Key, and Chris Canellis. These are phenomenal players, so make sure you check it out. Go to the Sedona International Film Festival website, and you can find all that information out. Okay, I am ready. Now I'm going to introduce my first guest. Happens to be a sponsor because it's Sedona Heritage Museum's Executive Director, Nate Meyers, is in the house, in the studio, I should say. Welcome, Nate.
Thanks, Chandra. Glad to be
Do you
here.
always like these big, crazy introductions?
I know. I'm always afraid I'm not going to live up to it.
Yeah,
Give me a lot to work.
That's funny. No, but I just think that it's awesome when you come in because you have the greatest stories. And I was just saying that you remind me of like this walking encyclopedia of, I think that could be a line from Dead Quilter Society. I'm not sure, but you are a walking encyclopedia of Sedona and probably Arizona. Maybe even the whole United States. I don't know. It's a possibility.
I don't know, maybe I need to go on Jeopardy, test that theory.
Yeah, I think you should. Make a little money. Come on, let's use that talent. All right, so today I was thinking, wouldn't it be cool if you told us, because there's a lot of people coming in now with the fall. Hikers are coming in. Mm-hmm. They're going to hit the trails, and you know a lot about these trails and a lot of the history, plus other things.
Yeah.
But before we begin, I do have to mention something because we are talking about behind the scenes. You just took a trip to New York to visit family.
Yeah.
And you just told me briefly about what can happen when you actually get just grazed by, just, a little, not sideswipe, but just a little grazed by a goat. I don't know. This is the weirdest thing ever.
That is a weird intro.
That is a very strange thing.
Yeah, I'm just hanging out with goats when I go to New York.
I know, it's like,
which is
what in the
not
world?
untrue. My brother-in-law and his wife run a goat and sheep sanctuary in Western New York, and plug for them the Little Sanctuary, it's called.
Adorable. A goat sanctuary.
Yes,
God bless them.
They got a handful of goats, a couple of sheep, their dog Queso. But we were visiting them last week, and I wasn't really thinking about it, but they let the goats and sheep graze. They've got 5 acres, and they just graze in the woods and whatever. And I was outside one of the days we were there, and the goats came running up to me, and Bambi, this little pygmy goat that can't be more than about 18 inches tall, she's tiny, came up and just kind of leaned against the back of my legs, and I was scratching her on top of the head and saying, "Oh, this is cute," And fast forward a few days back here in Sedona, and back of my legs are feeling real itchy, and I can't figure out why. And I realized she must have been grazing in poison ivy, and she leaned up against me and deposited all that oil on me, and
wow.
I got a fun poison ivy outbreak to remember my trip to New York.
I'm itching just thinking about it. Really, it's just like...
So is everybody at home listening.
I know, right? That was from an actual, like a sheep or a goat. Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even know this. Now I'm going to be really cautious around goats that go into the forest. I don't know if we have this issue.
You're probably fine here. Though I have seen some poison ivy in the canyon.
Okay,
not a
let's
lot,
talk
but...
about this because I am so worried. I am worried. No, I mean, really, because I go out there to officiate weddings. I don't know if anyone knows that I officiate weddings. But I do a lot of that out in the, out in the Red Rocks and out in the forest and stuff. So tell me, what am I looking for? Because I'm always like, oh, God, please don't let this be.
Well, you're not going to see any in most of the places you're going to. But for anyone who's looking, look for leaves of 3.
Leaves of 3.
Yeah, leaves of 3, let it be. That's the rhyme we learned growing up in New York. Leaves of 3, let it be.
Wow. And if you just brush up against it, that's it.
That's all it takes. Yep.
That's painful. Is it normal? Is that kind of stuff normally where there's a lot of greenery? So we're in the desert, so it's not so much.
You don't need to worry about it here.
Except for maybe in the village?
No, in the canyon.
In the canyon, you do?
Deep in the canyon.
So everybody, if you're hiking out in Oak Creek Canyon, or maybe in certain trails in the village of Oak Creek, where? No, nothing in the village?
No.
Okay, I'm giving I'm putting up hazard signs for no reason at all. Okay, but Oak Creek Canyon for sure. All right, let's talk about trails. First of all, what's your favorite trail that you like to hike?
Oh, gosh. There are a lot of good ones out here. If you'd asked me this about 6 years ago, I would have said Devil's Bridge.
Okay,
but
all right.
That's kind of thanks to the influence of TikTok and Instagram. That's really kind of blown up and become a destination. And now, if you're going to go out there, you're going to share it with 100 of your closest friends.
Oh my goodness!
But something to see, but you're not going to get it to yourself anymore. Bryn's Mesa might be
okay. Where's Bryn's Mesa?
Might be one of my favorites.
Where is that?
Bryn's Mesa is the trailhead is at the end of Jordan Road.
Oh, okay.
About a mile past the Heritage Museum, out in the National Forest, and it's actually a trailhead of a network of trails out there. The museum just opened our Hiking Sedona's History exhibit about featuring 21, 22 trails, and just telling either where the name came from or something interesting that happened out there, or, just little snippets of history of the trails, so that next time you're hiking, I know a little bit something about this, give a little deeper meaning to your experience in Sedona. And so 2 of the trails that we covered actually have trailheads there. Bryn's Mesa Trail, like I said, one of my favorites. You get some really great views. You get some shade, which is always nice this time of year.
That's very nice. Yeah.
And Bryn's Mesa is actually named for a bull that belonged to, I believe it was a Van Daren family, who were cattle ranchers in the area. And Bryn, the bull, would graze up on top of the mesa. And so it came to be called Bryn's Mesa.
Wow.
Because you could always find Bryn on the mesa.
That's amazing. The only bull, maybe?
That I don't know.
I don't know.
He could have been very territorial. Could be.
It is a very special bull to be having a trail named after you. Bryn, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, that whole area now, of course, there's tons of houses, homes there, but not on the trail, obviously, but in that area. And off of Jordan and everything. And so all of that used to be cattle land, right? I believe.
A lot of it, yeah. A lot of pasture land in that area. And if you're going to go out there, you're going to want something with a little more clearance than a sedan.
So
you don't need a super high clearance vehicle, but you're going to go out about a half mile on a very rugged Forest Service road.
So it's not quite like Schnebly, is it?
Not quite like Schnebly. No, not quite there.
Yeah. Schnebly is like, I don't know if any of you have had that experience, but having officiated and sung also up on merry-go-round, up in that area. Yeah. Ooh, let me just say, that ride is quite a ride. That's like you don't remember e-tickets. You're too young for that. E-tickets of Disneyland, but e-tickets were like the ride. When you go to Disneyland, you get the best rides. That is definitely one of them. It's like, okay. You're on
it's
this
an amusement
end.
park ride on that.
It is a little bit. It's got a little bit of that going on. Yeah.
I've never done it.
You haven't?
Never driven it. Never ridden a Jeep out there. But my grandfather remembered his first time in Sedona. He came into Sedona on Schnebly Hill Road from Flagstaff. And in like his Oldsmobile or whatever in the 70s. And he came down and decided, I don't ever need to do that again.
No. Did he break his car?
No, he made it. But.
That is serious. Okay, I was just going to tell you, if any of you want to get up into that area on Schnebly Road, because basically what happens is the road's all fine and great. And then you get to an area, there's a parking lot. And be smart. And either get a Jeep or have somebody else drive you, because let me tell you, this is not a road you want to take by yourself. Certainly not in an Oldsmobile.
No, don't take your Oldsmobile out there.
Oh my God, he could get stuck out there. It's not funny.
Yeah.
I'm laughing. It's just the whole idea. Okay, so you got to go do that. You'd love that.
Yeah.
Up there. Yeah. It's pretty great. Merry-go-round.
I mean, I've hiked up there. I've been up to merry-go-round.
Oh, you
hiked
have?
up there. Yeah.
Okay.
And that parking lot you mentioned.
How'd you get there if you didn't?
There's a couple of trails you can take that'll go up
okay.
there.
That you actually walk up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Munn's Wagon Trail and a couple others that connect through a network through there.
More for your serious hikers.
Yeah,
you gotta really.
It's going to be a few miles.
Yeah.
That you're putting in. I can't remember off the top of my head, so I don't want to put out into the universe the wrong number, but it was a few miles.
I'm going to say, here's the thing, guys. It's kind of like when you climb up, you have to come down. If you travel 2 miles in on a trail, just remember, you have to come back. So if you're exhausted.
That's a good point. So one of the things we did with Hiking Sedona's History is we give you the name of the trail, historic image of it, and then some details about it, the length, the type of trail it is. So if you see out and back and it's 4 miles, that means that it's 2 miles out and then it's another 2 miles back for a total of 4 miles.
Well, thank goodness you have the whole amount of miles, because if it was just like 4 miles, you go, oh, it's only 4 miles, and then it's really 8.
But it's really 8.
Not good.
Yeah.
Not good, because I'm going to tell you, you do not want to be rescued out there. It's another thing we talk about here. We do have that from time to time. People get caught up on a red rock formation or out there somewhere, and they get rescued, and it's like thousands of dollars, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to have to pay for that.
I know, right?
But yeah, there's some things you can do to avoid that, though. Dress appropriately, dress for the weather, be prepared with water. Take a lot of water. When you've used up half your water, turn around. Doesn't matter if you made it to your destination or not. Turn around.
That's
when half your water is
interesting.
gone.
Okay.
Appropriate footwear is important. If you're going to go on some of these trails, you're definitely going to want closed sneakers or running shoes or whatever, but hiking boots are best. And sunblock, a lot of sunblock, hat to shade your head. Yep. You want all that.
All that good stuff. You know, I had a hiking boot blow out on me on a trail all the way up there in that area. And then, of course, it was still walking. We were walking. It was like, when your shoe looks like it's talking to you. Just like that.
Yep.
It was not fun.
That happened to my wife. We were hiking past to a peak down in Phoenix. And as we're heading down, she's like, I don't know if my shoe's gonna make it. And,
right.
We were near the bottom of the trail, and it started doing that talking.
That talking.
And then we got to the car, and right as we got to the car, the sole fell right off.
Oh my God!
So it lasted just long enough.
That's crazy. I actually had that happen on stage once.
Ooh.
It wasn't
scary.
fun. Yeah, because you were running around and you could trip on that talking shoe. Anyway,
Yes.
We're just talking. We got to get the behind the scenes kind of stories too. All right.
One other thing on safety: know your route before you go. Scout out your route. Know the elevation gain. Know the terrain. Know the distance. If you can download a map to your phone, that's good, because you don't always get cell service out there.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's kind of crazy. And please be mindful out there. Don't throw things around. Oh my gosh.
Don't throw things. Don't leave the marked trails. Stay on the system trails. Don't go on social trails. If it looks like you shouldn't be there, don't go out there.
Yeah, there are signs in different places. I know Boynton Canyon is a really big, popular place to go hiking. And there's sign after sign saying, please stay on the trail.
Yeah, we agreed we weren't going to mention which very popular trail is out there. But if you know, and don't go to it. It's not a system.
Yeah, it's not cool.
It's a social trail that takes you there. don't go to the destination in Boynton Canyon.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good, guys. I know everybody wants to go and all that stuff, but the big thing is that we're trying to be good stewards here. And for those of you who are coming in, we appreciate it when you are a good steward and leave it the way you found it, right? Hopefully it wasn't junky when you found it, because we have that issue in our creek, don't we?
Yep. Leave nothing but footprints and take nothing but photos.
Right.
Yeah.
The creek there is a group of people that actually clean that creek.
Keep Sedona Beautiful does a great job. Friends of the
Yes.
Forest, the Sedona Westerners, they all work really hard to keep our trails well maintained. Red Rock Trail Fund is another one.
Yeah, and you know what? I remember being at City Council and someone came in, talked about volunteering and picking up like thousands of pounds of diapers and things like this disgusting stuff that people leave behind. Don't do that. It's not nice.
Even your orange peels, they don't decompose the way you think they do.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff, right? Lots of things. So please be mindful. Okay, what else?
I think we've been preachy enough, right?
Well, we have. I know. I feel like I'm going, do not do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't come to Sedona and have fun. How dare you?
Well, I think you can have fun without leaving orange
Yes,
peels, and
absolutely.
bottles and things like that.
Absolutely.
And diapers. Good grief. Anyway, all right. Let's talk about the Jim Thompson Trail thing. That what was that? Was a road that was leading to Indian Gardens.
Yeah, that's another one with a trailhead at that network just north of the museum off Jordan Road. Jim Thompson Trail, that actually follows in many sections the road that Jim Thompson built to connect his I hesitate to even call it a homestead because he didn't file a homestead until much later, but his place at Indian Gardens with the town of Sedona. And you got to imagine Sedona before Midgley Bridge is there, before 89A is there. And so he marks out this road. And his first attempt actually washed away in a flood. It was too close to the creek. And so he moved it higher. And actually that's his road was how you would get around Wilson Canyon before Midgley Bridge crossed it.
Amazing.
And so if once the bridge came through in the 30s, no more need for that road. And it's a trail now, but
I see.
when you're hiking that trail, you're hiking Thompson's original road that connected Indian Gardens to Sedona.
Really cool. So I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
We sometimes do get these flash floods. Mm-hmm. It does rain here. For those of you who do not live here and you're listening, yes, it rains in Sedona. We get these major monsoons. When they come, they're intense, and sometimes they last a little longer than expected, and there can be flash floods. Is there any trail that has that possibility? Mm-hmm. But if you see water and you're raining and you're out there and you've decided to do a hike, what do you do when you see tons of water and you got to get back? Any advice on that? I mean, that's insane, isn't it?
Yeah, check the weather before you go out. If monsoons are in the forecast, don't pick a trail that's going to take you close to the creek.
So
stay high.
What would that be? Like, what trails are closer to the creek besides? What is it? Red Rock Crossing, of course.
Sure, the ones around Red Rock Crossing are probably the most prominent ones closest to the creek. So, like Baldwin Trail, and trails like that in that area, because a lot of trails don't really follow the creek because there's so much private property along the creeks, and once you get into the canyon, the trails rise up the walls of the canyon, and
that's
so
right.
You're going to be going up anyway. But the ones around Red Rock Crossing, those could be in a flash flood. Yeah.
What was the scariest hike you ever did?
Ever?
Ever.
A few years ago, so my wife and I, we hike all the time. We go all over Arizona. And before we called Sedona home, we would come here. We're heading to Havasupai with that turquoise water in a couple weeks. But a couple years ago, we went down to Tucson and we went to Tanque Verde. And for those who aren't familiar, it's east of the city, and it goes into this very narrow canyon with waterfalls, and it's got water mostly year round. And so, going to see these waterfalls in the middle of the desert is kind of a neat thing.
Yeah.
And so we were out there, and it was probably this time of year, but we had checked the forecast. There were no monsoons in the forecast.
Uh-oh.
And we went out there, and we were like, boy, this would be a bad place to be stuck in monsoon, because we're between waterfalls. We've scrambled up one. We've got another one ahead of us. Narrow canyon and steep sides. And we're like, boy, it'd be bad news if a monsoon rolled in. And
oh my gosh.
So we're like, we got to skedaddle out of here. We can't hang out here. And so we start going down, and it's raining, and the rock's getting slick. And at the top of one of the waterfalls, I lost my footing, and I slipped, and I just started to go.
Oh,
and
no.
I thought for sure I was starting to angle myself so that I'd go over the edge feet first and hopefully land feet first.
Gosh.
But I thought for sure I was going over the edge, and I was like scrabbling at the rock with my
Grabbing.
fingernails and just like trying to stop myself. And I finally did, but
and of course your wife
that
is
was the scary.
screaming.
Oh yes, yeah.
She's screaming.
Oh yeah.
How far if you had fallen off? What
it was probably 30 or 40 feet. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah. It was. Yeah,
see? Okay. All right.
So, that was the scariest.
I'm feeling the momdra part of me coming out now. I'm just going, oh my God, please be careful out there.
And you run into wildlife. That's another, leave the wildlife alone.
Yes, please.
You'll see them.
Please. And leave the little ones. You don't want to be touching the little guys because there's a mommy somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we have run out of time. I can't believe it. It goes by so fast. Your stories are great.
Go fast.
Really. Thank you for all the great hiking information, the stories, all of it. And remember, Sedona Heritage Museum, it is right on Jordan Road. Make sure you go there. They're open every day from 11 to 3, right? Yes, and you'll find out everything you need to know about Sedona before you get into Sedona. All right. Thank you, Nate, for being here. And everybody stay with me.
You can taste it in every bite. For over 30 years, Chef Lisa Dahl has redefined what it means to dine in Sedona, serving soulful, handcrafted cuisine inspired by love, artistry, and community. From the wood-fired kitchens of Mariposa to the couture flair of Butterfly Burger, every experience is elevated, every ingredient intentional. To learn more about Lisa Dahl and the Dahl restaurants, please visit cheflisadahl.com.
Need a clean car fast? Come to Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash. We'll have you sparkling and back on the road in minutes. Whether you're after a quick shine or a deep clean, you'll get top quality service, eco-friendly soaps, and smiles all around. Drive up, shine up, and feel good, all without slowing down your day, and look like a star in your car. Located in West Sedona on Highway 89A. For more information, visit cleanerquickercarwash.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Dahl Group.
I'm so excited you stayed with me. This is wonderful. And let me just tell you, I am absolutely ecstatic about having my next guest on. You know her and you love her. Those of you who are residents of Sedona, you know her from Saveco, very involved with them. Oh, gosh, she's a veteran herself, and we'll get into that in a moment. But also, you know her from the Emerson Theater Collaborative, which is here in Sedona. For those of you who are going to be visiting, make sure you check out emersontheatercollaborative.org, and then you'll know who my guest is. Camilla Ross, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me, Shondra. This is fabulous.
I know, just so excited. You are up to a lot of stuff, and I just want to read what's on your shirt to everybody because this says it all to me. This is you. This is what Camilla is wearing right now. I wish we had video and you would see it yourself. I am currently unsupervised. I know, it freaks me out too. But the possibilities are endless. That just sums it up, doesn't it? I just love it. It's great.
You have to keep that childlike behavior.
We sure do. And in the theater, we get to do that.
Oh, it's a playground.
You know, it's so much fun, you know? I just want to say, no, I can't go out with you. I'm playing at the theater.
That's it.
Really.
The play's the thing, though.
The play is the thing. Yes, we love it. But you are an award-winning producer, director, playwright, actor. You're also the president of the company of Emerson Theater Collaborative. You're a busy woman.
Busy is good.
Busy is good. And you're also the executive director of the Arts Academy of Sedona here in Sedona. And also, I have to mention, you are a member of the Connecticut chapter of the League of Professional Theater Women. Incredible. I love what you're doing.
You got to stay connected. The League of Professional Theater Women for the state of Connecticut has changed. They are now the Connecticut Theater Women's Network, which is really great, and it provides us an avenue to just stay connected, in the region with each other, with playwrights, and we still go back and forth, So it's really, really nice to have them support the work that playwrights do.
Yes, having community is everything, isn't it?
It is. Community is so important. Sedona, in particular, has a fabulous community of people.
I think so, too. I'm loving the fact that you're here. I know you moved here in 2015.
I did.
What brought you here?
I think my life is very divine-driven. It's
Okay.
very divine-driven. I had come in 2014, and we had been coming for years. We bought a timeshare here and stuff like that. Way back when, I think it was like 2001, we found one on eBay, of all places, for $300, right? We were in heaven. So
I love
we
it.
had been coming back and forth. And 2014, I come, in December. And when I got home, there was a snowstorm, and my neighbor was cleaning my driveway. He was plowing the driveway out. And I was so grateful. And I just told my husband, I said, listen, I'm leaving to Sedona. I'm going to go find a house.
Okay.
You're welcome to come, but if you choose not to, I understand. But I'm leaving.
I knew that's where you were going with this. Like, bye-bye. You going to follow me? What's happening here?
So I came out in February 2015, looked at 19 houses in 2 days, and Bruce from Remax, what a great guy he was, and just shuttling me around from place to place. And I, found a house that in the VOC. And funny, Lisa Schatz-Glinsky
I know.
owned the house.
Is this great? Lisa Schatz-Glinsky. Big shout out to you, Lisa. Lisa is in our Dead Quilters Society. She's one of our actors who plays Fanny Gullock. She's a wild one. And Lisa is a wild one.
She is.
It was like typecasting.
But it was perfect because, I owned a theater company. Right? She's an actress. She was from the East,
Can you imagine?
Just, those connections,
Yeah.
right? And that's how God works.
That's right.
So, we bought the house and, and the rest is really history because it really was divine. Our house in Connecticut, we lived in Stonington on the Long Island Sound there and, a house sold within 30 days. So I knew that I was coming here.
That's
and I knew
fantastic.
that God had worked for me to, to actually do. So that is the story of how we got here.
I love it. But I have to say, so you had Red Rock fever. That's what happened. You got that whole thing, and it didn't want snow in the driveway anymore.
No, but what happened?
shovel the
What
snow.
really happened was I would come and I would be miserable when I went back, and I said, "Why am I so miserable?" And that's when I realized God's hand in it. Because once I got here, my whole spirit just settled in.
It's great. Sedona was calling you.
I suppose.
And when things happen synchronistically like that, we had the same, it was different, but it was the same kind of thing. Everything fell into place.
Yes,
It was
exactly. You
beautiful,
don't have to do anything.
No, it's just like, boom. Then you know it's right. So that's great. So now I know that you are a veteran and you're
I am.
very involved in Safeco. We know this about you. And like if you go to a Veterans Day event, let's say, which is coming up in November, let's say
September, they have the golf event.
Yes, that's right.
The fundraiser.
That's for Safeco?
Yes, exactly.
Tell us about that real quick.
So I'm not leading it. Gigi Rock is heading it up.
Gigi's
yeah,
awesome.
she's fabulous.
Love her.
So she's coming in and she's helping them, revamp this event. They have NFL players coming in. One is called Mighty Mouse, I think it is. So she's got 4 or 5 NFL players coming. She has the female lead golfer for the long distance drive coming.
Wow.
So it's really going to be a great event, and we really want the community to come out and support that.
So please tell me, it's Safeco, SAVCO.
So Sedona Area Veterans Community Outreach. It's headed up by my husband, Jack Ross, who's the president, but they have a whole host of amazing people that are part of Safeco.
Yeah,
and the work doesn't get done with just one person. It's more than one. And it's a community of people. And
What's the website?
Safeco.org.
Okay.
That was easy.
Yeah, no. SAVCO.org. Check it out, everybody. And I get so excited when I get to work alongside you and Jack.
Well, thank you.
Tom has sung for you guys too. And
Absolutely.
It's just really, really, really fun.
I mean, Emerson wouldn't be what it was if it wasn't for you and Dev coming in when we first started.
Yeah, and Tom played.
Yeah, Tom.
He played Scrooge.
Brad Roberts.
Yes.
There's so many amazing people that this community comes forward and just supports each other. And so I think that's really, really important.
Well, I want to applaud you. I have watched you. You came in, I met you really early on. You came over, we talked. Do you remember this?
Yes, I do.
Remember like it was yesterday. And it was like, welcome, you're just so awesome, and you've got all these ideas and plans and things that you were putting down your roots. And you did it. You not only did it, but you've done it in a really big way. And you've helped so many people, veterans, youth with acting.
Absolutely. They're the future.
Your theater productions always are meaningful and make a positive difference or make people aware of different kinds of things that are going on or have gone on.
Well, it's the human condition of people.
Yes.
We have to get back to that. And, I think the work, like I said, it's really divinely driven. There's so many stories that I can tell you where God's hand has been in the production. And, there was one in particular. It was Lapina Gilles, I think it was, yes, by Steve Martin. And that was 2012. And I was at Ripley Greer in New York, and we're doing auditions, and I had seen so many people. And there was this one guy that I seen that I didn't hire at the onset. I hired this other guy that looked like Jack Lemmon, and it was just a spitting image of Jack Lemmon. I mean, we thought he was going to be great. So we get him out to Mystic, Connecticut, and he stays the night, and he wakes up the next morning, and he says, I can't do this.
Ooh.
This is not for me.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, okay. So I got the team together, and I said, we need to go back to New York, and we need to go get these auditions in because this guy has just decided that he doesn't want to do the show.
And how far were you in the process?
We were getting ready to begin rehearsals because
Okay.
our rehearsal process is really, it's 2 weeks and we open.
Yeah, it's quick.
It's quick.
Yeah.
So we go back to Ripley Greer, and this one guy, he comes back into the auditions, and for whatever reason, I loved him.
I love it.
And so he comes to Mystic, and we start, rehearsal for Lapina Gilles, and we had a fabulous cast of people. And 2 months after the show closed, he passed away.
Oh my gosh.
The late
What?
James Flynn, he was phenomenal. He played Gaston, and he was phenomenal.
Oh my.
But again, I tell you that God's hand was in everything, because when I first saw him, I did not like him. And the second time, I was just so blown away by his talent. And so we took him, and my friend Jane from the Guggenheim Museum in New York, she called me and she said, Camilla, I just want to tell you that James told me that he had the greatest time, and he just wanted to thank you.
How awesome is that?
And it set the precedent for every other show that we were going to do, because I realized that God's hand was truly in that moment. And every show since, God's hand has been in it. So we've had these amazing stories like that things that just happen, and we just let them happen.
Right. Oh, that's riveting, actually. Did he have a family?
He did have a family. And here's the funny thing. His nephew reached out to me maybe about 4 or 5 years ago, and he said, I want to know about my uncle. Will you tell me about him?
Wow.
And I did it, and his name is Andrew Jonas Flynn, and he lives in Amsterdam. But I just want to, it's God's hand in everything. And that young man just wanted to know who his uncle was. What a beautiful thing.
Yes, and you gave an opportunity. This is I see all of the gifts, right? There's so many gifts there. You gave his family this gift of being that last show that he got to do, and it was a meaningful show. And so it was a win-win for both you and for this gentleman and his family, and it was just it was a send-off.
Yeah.
A divine send-off.
Yeah.
And
that
just
was
love
his
it.
last work. And
That's something.
It's
Love
really
it.
something, and I still have his script in my repertoire because, I was so grateful to God to have that experience because it set the tone for what Emerson is today.
How wonderful. That's a beautiful moment. Thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely.
I have to ask you, I know that you've done a lot of flying in your time, and I know that your husband, Jack, was a commercial airplane pilot, right?
Yeah.
Working for, was it American?
Oh, no. Delta.
What was it?
He's a
Oh, my
Delta
gosh.
man.
Don't mention the A word. That is so not good.
I am Delta man. Okay. But anyway.
Does he have a cape? I want to see it if he has it.
He's an extraordinary human being.
He is.
What a person. I have to tell you, my husband is he's generous, he's kind, he's loving, and he's got this quiet spirit about him. I'm the total opposite.
You are. Exactly. I know. I've done some reading on you, and it's all like, she's an introvert. She's an introvert.
I am.
Really? Well, I actually believe it, and I'll tell you why. I can understand this. When you're out into the world, you're being your extrovert self. But a lot of people don't know is Camilla Ross is an introvert. But your husband has that. He does have that quiet strength.
Yes.
And that's wonderful for an introvert, too, is to be able to just lean in a little bit.
Well, yeah, because the energy that's put out, when you're out there working, you're sucking in all of that energy, and it can be overwhelming.
Oh, yes.
So for me, when I go home, I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to relax, whatever that means for me, because I live at a fast pace. And Sedona really had set me down in 2016. Mm-hmm. And I share this. I had breast cancer.
Yeah, you sure did.
And my father died that year. My dog died, and it was just a whirlwind of things. And again, God's hand is in everything because I had, this amazing team of people. My college RA. Who can say their college RA helped them through breast cancer, right?
Wow.
Maureen Kearney, I love you. And my friend Patty, they wrapped their arms around me and they helped me navigate, that moment in my life when my father had just died. And I could tell you God's hands in everything. When you help others, God helps you.
The truth.
And this was my life in 2016. It was just, and I had to keep working. I was teaching at Three Rivers. I had to keep working so that I could function and not think about it.
Tom was training he was personal training at Los Abogados Resort in the spa there.
Yeah.
And I was going to work out, and I used to see you there. And I think we were doing in December. You were still going through all of that.
Yeah, I had to.
Yeah. And you were just, you amaze me. You really are.
That was my saving grace,
Really, really awesome. So you did a lot of flying.
Yeah, I've been to some pretty neat places.
Can I ask you, how did you meet Jack?
Honestly, I had a friend way back when who introduced us, and we met the old-fashioned way, online.
Oh, okay. Online. Everybody meets online nowadays.
But it was one of those sites where it no longer exists, right?
Oh, really?
So
Okay.
we met online, and I thought he was, I thought he was joking because he would call me and he'd say, let's get together. And then he'd have to not meet up. And I didn't know what he did for a living at the time.
He never told you?
Because we weren't at that point, right?
So, what did you think? Who is this guy? Is he for real?
I got to go because I thought he was playing around, right? But eventually we talked and I figured out what he did. And we met, in Connecticut at my son's baseball game. And the rest is really history. But he really set the precedent for me in my life. That quiet, gentle nature was really what I needed.
I love it. Jack, if you're listening, I don't want to just bring you out from the shadows of the quiet strength that you are. And you're a powerhouse on your own with all that you do, working for the police. And it just goes on and on with this man. But here's the thing. I want to know, did he propose to you? And how did he propose?
He did propose to me. And, it's funny how people do things.
Okay, there's a story. I hear a story. Okay.
There's always a story in the Ross household.
Love it.
He proposed to me in front of his mother.
He proposed to you in front of his mother. Okay, set the stage. How does this work? Tell me how this goes down.
It's Christmas 2003, and I'm crying as I'm laughing here because it's hysterical. He had put the ring in a box on the Christmas tree. It had been there for months, right?
Oh, it had been there for months?
I mean, yeah, it had been there for months.
The Christmas tree was up for months.
Well, I put my Christmas tree up in November.
Okay. So it was
in November.
Up for, yeah.
So,
but it wasn't on your Christmas tree, was it?
Yes.
It was on your Christmas
tree? It was on my Christmas tree. I did not notice.
A very strange box that you never put there?
I'm sorry, but you know what? Camilla does her thing, and I'm not going to the Christmas tree to go check out what's there.
That's right. Well, he must have put it in a very special place. Bravo to you, Jack.
And so Christmas morning,
yes,
is when he proposed to me in front of his mother.
His mother is over at your house.
She was staying with us.
Okay.
So we were caring for her, the beautiful Joan, and so that's what happened. So what am I supposed to say in front of his mother, right?
Exactly. What a trap, Jack. That was really tricky. Tricky. So here's my question. So what does he? He goes to the tree and picks it out, or does he go? Oh, look over there.
Well, he did one of those. Look over there, And I'm like, where? What? Right? So then he had to come over and find it. Okay.
Yeah, he had to find it through all the ornaments.
Hello.
I love that. What a great story. So did he get on bended knee?
Yes, he did.
He did?
Yeah.
Were there pictures? I want to see this.
I don't know if we took pictures of that particular moment, but there are pictures of the Christmas that day.
I mean, you have to almost like reenact it. Okay, after you did that, could you do it again so we can take pictures? That's awesome. I love it. Good for you, Jack. I'm really proud of you. That was really quite something.
Yeah, what are you supposed to say in front of his mother, right?
Well,
what?
What would have happened if she hadn't been there?
It would have been the same.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because
exactly.
He's a real special person, so
is.
It would have been just the same.
Aren't you going, phew, Jack, you're listening to this going, good, I'm so glad she would have said yes. Okay, so now we're getting to know you a little bit here. Mm-hmm. Okay, so I want to know, what was the funniest thing that ever happened to you when you were on stage? Because I know you're an actor.
I am an actor, but I have to say I was producing a show.
Okay.
And the show was an original piece written by David Horsqueer called Our Father. And it had to do with adoption. And so we're doing the reading to flush out this play. It was 2014, I want to say. We just started the process. And we had to call in E. Roger Mitchell. Most of y'all will know him from Outer Banks and, The Hunger Games and Selma, all these amazing things that he's done as an actor. He's extraordinary. But anyway, David had called him in. And so we are reading this play. And one of the actors did not show up. So we asked Jack Ross to come in and just read so we could hear the play.
Yes.
And in this play, if you know anything about biblical Nebuchadnezzar, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So Jack is reading, and he gets to that name, and out of his mouth comes Nebuchadnezzar.
I love it.
Every actor on that stage, everybody in the room just stopped, and we all just broke out laughing.
I mean, that is hysterical.
Because, Jack being Jack, we just throw him in the fire, right?
There you go.
He's
he
not
takes
an actor.
He takes it.
Yeah, and he just did, and it was just hilarious. We couldn't stop laughing. And so to this day, when they talk to him, and we just met up with E. Roger and David, in Kentucky for a Raisin in the Sun that they had done there.
Nice.
And they said, "Hey, Nebuchadnezzar, how you doing?" Right?
I love it. That's so good. That's so good.
So we've had those great moments.
Have you ever had something happen on stage as an actor where it wasn't supposed to happen, but you have to roll with it? Because I could tell you all kinds of stories. I'm sure you have your own.
Oh, of course.
Things happen.
What actor can't remember a line?
Yes.
Or lines, and when you're doing a solo show.
Oh, that's just not fun.
Hello.
Yes.
So there's a moment when I'm doing Harriet Tubman's Dream by the late Lisa Giordano. She had written that for me in 2008, and we, started working it in 2009. And my first time she had written it, and I had 2 weeks to memorize 20 pages of dialogue. And so I'm in this process in the middle of a show, and I forget where I am.
That's worst.
And I'm frozen. And I really had to take it, a whole half a paragraph back to find my footing
Oh.
And I managed to do that.
Good for you.
And so after doing that, and the show was wonderful. So after the show was over, I take my bow and I leave. And Lisa's like, Camilla, get back out there. They gave you a standing ovation. I'm like, what are you talking about? Because I thought, you just screw it up, right?
Right, that's what you're thinking.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. And nobody ever knew. And I go back out and I take my bow again. It really set the tone for me as a solo performer, what can happen. Mm-hmm. Because it's all on you.
It's right. Oh, yes.
I don't have an ensemble. I don't have another person I'm playing
There's no
off
net.
of. There's no safety net.
Yeah.
So being creative in those moments. And it really it says that you can do this.
Yes.
And there's a whole story behind Harriet Tubman, and again, God's hand being in it.
I love it. Thank you for sharing that story. Now, you do have a show coming up. I want to mention this to everybody. This is coming up this weekend, September 12th, 13th, and 14th. The 12th and 13th are at 7 p.m. The 14th of September is at 2 p.m. All right. So it's going to be happening at the Verde Valley School. If you do not know about the Emerson Theater Collaborative, or if you want information and tickets, please visit emersontheatercollaborative.org. And this is helping bring light to abuse. And, you're just going to have to read about it. It's amazing. And we're running out of time. So is there anything else you want to leave us with, Camilla? I just can't believe it's gone this fast.
It has gone fast. Shondra, thank you. But this show, Silence is Not Golden, we really need to come out and support this because it's supporting the Verde Valley Sanctuary, who does domestic violence work. We need to talk about this subject in particular.
Yes.
It affects every walk of life. We cannot be complacent. And the show is dedicated to the late Kelly Patachowski.
Right. Who was murdered in Flagstaff.
Right, in June 2024.
Right.
So we are supporting their work on behalf of, the memory of Kelly. And the family will be, in the audience on Friday night show.
Okay. So everybody, please check it out. It's very, very important. emersontheatercollaborative.org. Check out Camilla Ross. Thank you, Camilla, for being with us. You're such an awesome person. And
Thank you.
Honor you on all the work you're doing.
Thank you.
And you'll be back, I'm sure. And please stay with me because I'll be back.
You've explored the trails, stood in awe of the red rocks. Now, discover how Sedona became Sedona. The Sedona Heritage Museum tells the story of Red Rock country, from ancient cultures to today's vibrant community. It's interactive, family-friendly, and open year-round, indoors and out. Sedona Heritage Museum, preserving and sharing the soul of Red Rock country. Plan your visit at sedonamuseum.org or call 928-282-7038.
Take a deep breath, then let it go. At Sedona's New Day Spa, your escape begins the moment you arrive. Enjoy luxurious massages, rejuvenating facials, and native-inspired body treatments. Every moment is designed to restore balance and renew your spirit. Voted Sedona's Best Day Spa, this is more than self-care. It's your sanctuary. Book your experience today at SedonaNewDaySpa.com or call 928-282-7502.
When your project demands precision, experience, and trust, turn to Sefton Engineering Consultants. From expert civil engineering to construction management, we deliver real-world solutions that stand the test of time. With over 30 years in the business, Luke Sefton's team is committed to getting your project done right, on time, and on budget. Sefton Engineering Consultants. Reliable, experienced, personal. Learn more at SeftonEngineeringConsultants.com.
Here's more of Sedona's Backstage Pass with Shondra, presented by the Doll Group.
That was so much fun. Oh my gosh, I love my guests this week. I always love my guests. What am I talking about? Well, there you go. You hear that music? You know what this means if you've been listening. It's time for my shameless Shondra spot. first, I want to mention that Weird Detention, the movie that my creative partner Dev Ross and I finally produced this summer in July after 6 years. I mean, 6 years, you guys, of hard work. It is now in post-production. I'm thrilled. The reason I'm announcing this again is we're about 1/3 of the way home of having a finished project. And I want to thank everybody who has made donations, those of you who have done this to help us with this process, because it's a big deal. There's a lot going on. I'm going to tell you where we are right now. First, an edit has actually been made. So exciting. I've not seen it. Dev hasn't seen it yet. We don't want to see this yet. The edit's been made by our director of photography, and it's going now in the next few days to the hands of our director, Amy Waddell, and she's editing with her own editor, okay? And then Dev and I, as the producers, will view that edit in early October, and this is where it gets really exciting. Again, musician-producer who actually co-produced with me all of the songs that I wrote for the movie. His name is Chris Ising, and he's in Canada. And he's going to end up with that edit, and then he's going to be scoring the music under the dialogue and putting in all the sound effects. So this is like totally exciting, and fingers crossed this will be done by the top of November so that we can enter as our premiere our movie, Weird Detention, into the Sedona International Film Festival by their deadline, November 15th. So please say prayers, say intentions. We really appreciate it. And we are still welcoming your financial assistance with this whole process, because it does take a lot of money, and we're just kind of doing this, one step at a time. So you can do that if you would like to make a donation. Visit WeirdDetention.com. You will receive a tax deduction for your donation through our fiscal sponsor, the Artists Forum in New York City. So check it out. I can hardly wait to announce that our movie is finally finished. Thank you, everybody. WeirdDetention.com. I can't believe the show's over again. Every time that we come to the end of the show, I'm always baffled. It goes by so quickly. And I want to thank you so much for listening in. Remember, you can find our show every Saturday at 10 a.m. at KAZM 106.5 FM and 780 AM. And you can also stream it live at that time on mellowmountainradio.com. Later, you'll find it on Spotify, Pandora Radio, and of course on mellowmountainradio.com. So I want to thank my sponsors, Sedona Heritage Museum, Sefton Engineering, Cleaner, Quicker Car Wash, Sedona New Day Spa, and my presenting sponsor, The Doll Group. Thank you so very much, all of you, and my new sponsor for the events calendar, Sedona Ballet. Thank you, everybody. Without you, I couldn't do this. And I want to thank my engineer and producer, who I'm waving to right now, Ryan Thompson. You rock. This man rocks. And also the owner of KAZM Mellow Mountain Radio, Chuck Helstein. Thank you, Chuck, for all that you do. We've got great guests next Saturday. Please tune in with your VIP pass and get ready for some more stories behind the scenes. All right, you guys, take care. Remember, check us out every Saturday, 10 a.m. Sedona's Backstage Pass.